Yeah. You ready? Hey. Let's go. Back. I'm at my prime. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement. Giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa.
This is EFA football. Hello and welcome from the beautiful city of Prague, where the Prague Lions are hosting the Munich Ravens today. This is the third match of this weekend, and we're prepared for a nice matchup against the Munich Ravens, the still unbeaten team, 7-0 their record against the Prague Lions, with 2 victories on their side and 5 losses. Calling this game for you, my name is Jörg Opu Opupik, and with us is our color commentator, former quarterback of the German national team, Mr. Jan Weinreich.
Hey Opu, how you doing? Happy to call this game with you again today.
Yes, and this could be very interesting, although the Munich Ravens, we have to be clear about that, are the absolute favorites for this matchup with the 7-0 record, as I mentioned already. But the Prague Lions, that's a team that is on the rise. They won their last 2 matchups. They had a 45-44 victory in Tyrol against the Raiders. And last week they won the first ever overtime thriller against the Paris Musketeers, 36-35. So the Munich Ravens have to take care of what they're doing here today.
Yeah, 100%. But, you know, I'm going to say every time we're going to call the Munich Ravens, I'm not betting against this team as long as they don't lose. They come out every game. They keep themselves to a high standard. They always come out swinging. They always come out very hot and very fast out of the locker rooms, scoring right when they get out with the offense. So today for the Prague Lions, the biggest challenge is to keep it a tight game, which the Munich Ravens only have been in one time, and they also won that game.
We see there are a couple of fans from Munich, the Ravens crowd that found their way to Prague, which is not such a long drive to go from Munich to Prague. The weather could be a problem today. Right now it's about 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the equivalent of about 19 degrees Celsius. But there is a 70% chance of a thunderstorm coming in, so we have to be prepared for that as we see the Munich Ravens hitting the field. Yeah, the Munich Ravens what is their biggest strength? It's probably him. Kendra Allison, the head coach of the Munich Ravens, he built a unit that is so strong inside to outside. Unbelievable the work that he has done for the Ravens franchise.
Yes, and one thing, and no disrespect to Coach Allison, he's a great coach, but I think his biggest strength doesn't lie in his play calling and doesn't lie in his coaching ability of game management or anything. It's about him being able to form a culture, to form a real team, because he was always known to be a player's coach. Even when he was a defense coordinator back in the days in Hamburg, he was always known to just be like a locker room guy where everybody can trust him, everybody knows he's got the back of his players, good or bad. And I think with that core mentality and those core beliefs, he built an amazing team, an absolute standout team in Munich.
And one should not be misled. He is a player's coach, but in the locker room, it can get loud with Kendall Allison. If things are not going the way as planned, he can definitely pitch up the volume in the locker room and get those guys concentrated. And they do know that they have to stick and always go, as the coaches say, 1-0 every weekend. And that's what they do and what they show the whole time. We see Luis Gaia, without a doubt, one of the best European wide receivers, as we see the Ravens player doing their last game preparations. The Prague Lions, they are definitely a team with head coach James Brooks. They are a unit as well. They have a really good mentality inside the locker room. Everybody feels great whenever you talk to import players that are coming to Prague. They always say it's what a treatment by the club, and they're all, everybody taking care that they have everything they need to perform the way everybody expects them to.
Yeah, I mean, the camaraderie is off the charts with the Prague Lions. I don't know if you watched around EFA this week, but Valentin, my co-host, he made a great point. When they had the final 2-point conversion, everybody was up in arms before the play. They were basically like in a soccer or normal football penalty shootout. Everybody was hugging each other. Everybody was like so tight with each other. Everybody knew what big of a moment this is, and that just shows you how tight this team is, how great the camaraderie is, and how important it is to everybody to just come out and play, to get better, and how everybody has each other's backs. And this is the stuff you need to create an upset, and to also create an upset in a game like today against the Munich Ravens.
Yes, and we definitely saw in those last couple games one player that was really standing out on the side of the Prague Lions, and that's a homegrown player, and this is whiteout number 12, Matyáš Billy, who caught the game-winning 2-point conversion against the Paris Musketeers in overtime. And naturally, we should not forget number 2 as we see him enter the pitch. Willie P. William Patterson, the go-to guy of Jalen Henderson.
Yeah, and you made, I think, a good point about Willie P. Is they had a bit of a struggle of getting him into the game plan early on and feeding him the ball. But after week 3-4, they were just getting super creative. But they were finding great ways of building the offense around him. And now, with new players coming in, with them being comfortable, they also get the other guys in there, like Billy, who had a great game last game. I think he had 5 catches, 2 for touchdowns, also with the game-winning touchdown, the game-winning 2-point conversion, who could just show his great skills. And so now this offense is not only built around the Americans, which is always the core and the backbone of an offense in Europe. No, they are ready to pass the ball around to everybody. And Henderson, he's dialed in, man. Like, he really knows where to go with the football. He feels very comfortable scrambling, and I'm really looking forward to what he has in stock for us today.
And during the week, the Prague Lions added a couple of players to their roster. One of them is a German offensive tackle, Emanuel Hefele. Really good player that moved to Prague. Plus another running back, a graduate of the NFL Academy, Paul Breuer, will be joining the Prague Lions offensive unit.
Yeah, new players, fresh legs, new motivation. As again, coming back to what the strength of this team is, it's easy to get new players and get them into the team if the team has a great core beliefs and great team motivation. So looking forward for those guys balling out today.
As we see James Brooks lining up with his team for the national anthems. first of all, naturally, the guests' anthem, and which is the German national anthem. The two national anthems, which leads to the question, Jan, when you played for the German national team, did you sing along?
I don't think so. I'm not the biggest guy on pre-game traditions and singing anthems and dancing and listening to somebody else giving like some intros. Sorry if I'm a party pooper here, but I was always about the game. And like between leaving the field and when you were warmed up, it was such a long time, sometimes like 20 to 30 minutes to get back on, and I just couldn't wait to get on the field.
But for a lot of players, especially these 90 seconds approximately with the national anthem, are the last 90 seconds to finally get into the tunnel, to really get concentrated and game ready. So here we see Russell Tabor, quarterback of the Munich Ravens. You see his stats, 1,713 passing yards, 18 passing touchdowns, and 6 touchdowns that he ran himself. Luis Gaia, I mentioned already, one of the best wide receivers all over Europe. And there is Jalen Henderson, Mr. Dual Threat, the quarterback of the Prague Lions. And he is definitely not only the quarterback, he is the heart of this Prague Lions team. Whoever you talk to on that squad, they all mention what kind of a leader Jalen Henderson is, especially in that overtime thriller against Paris. They were all very impressed. And there we have Matiashvili, the homegrown whiteout, number 12, 5 touchdowns. 2 of them came in that overtime thriller against the Paris Musketeers. Whitehead of this game will be Peter Parsons, who will ask the team captains to the center of the field for the coin toss. For the Prague Lions today, it is all about getting into a good mood. As you said before, being able to keep that a close game as long as possible. But the most important matchup for the Prague Lions will be after the league bye week, which is coming up next week, then they are facing the Raiders Tirol and the Frankfurt Galaxy. And if they win those two matchups, they have a pretty good chance to make it to the Big Four tournament, which is held in Frankfurt on the 15th and 16th of August. So you should get your tickets ready to see the playoffs in the European Football Alliance.
Yeah, and I totally believe that the Prague Lions really get hot at the right time. I was saying the same thing about Frankfurt, but yesterday they showed us they're really getting cold, to be honest. And Prague did not only beat Paris, I think they have a great shot of beating Frankfurt as well. And they can just play their way to the Final Four, which makes this league so super exciting that until the last game day, all the playoff spots are open and everybody wants to book their ticket for the greatest event we will see in Europe this year.
Well, the battle is all about, a little correction, is all about seed 3 and 4. The first two seats are taken. We don't know the ranking yet because one matchup between the Ravens and the Nordic Storm is still to be played. But so far, the Nordic Storm and the Munich Ravens have their places in the Big Four secured. And seed 3 and seed 4 is up for battles.
Munich have called tails. Ms. Schwarzbach, will you please toss the coin? And it's tails. You've won the toss. You're going to take the ball. You want to kick the way you face.
As usual, the Munich Ravens, if they have the chance, they choose to get the ball right away. And this is what happened. Munich won the game toss, the coin toss, and they have selected to get the ball right away. So the Prague Lions will receive the ball at the start of the third quarter.
Which is the right thing to do. Analytically, you always want to have the ball in the second half. That just gives you the option to control the clock, to know what situation you're in right at the end of the first half, because then you can create a 14-point swing without the other offense touching the ball. That scenario is clear. You get the ball like 2, 3, 4 minutes before the half. You run down the clock, you score, you get the ball back right after half, and the opposing offense is just on the sideline watching you play, watching you celebrate. So good decision here to do so. But the problem is, and that's the most important thing, I said it before, analytics, first down decisions, when you take a timeout, when you go for the fourth down, usually doesn't matter if the opposing team is just so good as the Munich Ravens. The Munich Ravens don't need the ball in the second half. The Munich Ravens don't need to convert all their field goals. They don't need to convert all the two-point conversions. They can take some timeouts and burn them in the wrong situations because they're just so good. Those players are so good in executing down by down, and this is the biggest challenge today for the Prague Lions to keep their winning streak alive.
And the Prague Lions have to be highly awake from the start of this game because back there is number 21 waiting for the ball. Mr. Bijan Harris already had 2 coast-to-coast kickoff return touchdowns. He is without a doubt the most explosive and dangerous kickoff returner in the EFA. Number 21, the cornerback of the Munich Ravens. And here we go, the Prague Lions to kick it off against the Munich Ravens. Prague in red jerseys, little problems. And we do have little problems with the wind right now. The flags on the roof of the stands are hanging down, but a couple minutes ago it was really kind of stormy. So that will be a challenge, especially for the kicker. And here we have Bijan Harris waiting for the ball. And that's somehow the perfect kickoff if you have Bijan Harris waiting for the ball back there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't want to give this guy the ball. He was able to start out games by scoring. So this is a positive thing that he doesn't get the ball. But the risk you take, and you already given the Munich Ravens great field position at the 35-yard line now, which gives them a shorter field and a very comfortable spot for the entire offense to work around. But coming again, this game will not be decided by field possession, and if they're on the 20, 25-yard line, this is decided by down execution by both teams on the field.
So the Munich Ravens in white jerseys, black pants from right to left. Russell Tabor is leading the offense of the Bavarian franchise. 4 wideouts. Russell Tabor is going deep right away. And what a start. Luis Gaia with the first deep pass caught in Prague Lions territory.
And they come out swinging in a spread formation, deciding to send the ball deep. The Prague Lions only send 3 pass rushes, so they have 8 guys in coverage, which kind of gives Russell Tabor enough time in the pocket to read the defense, but also gives Luis Gaia enough time to run his double route, which then I'm coming again. This team is so good like this. This is very hard to defend him. If you don't pressure Russell Tabor, he's going to dice you up, and then Luis Gaia, if he has enough time, he's going to take his game over the top and just go over your defense.
One play by Russell Tabor, and they're at the 17-yard line of the Prague Lions. Run play, but good defense against Justus Selig, the number 5 running back for the Munich Ravens. Good defensive work here by Alexander Borkovic, number 0.
The goal's got to be make the Munich Ravens somewhat one-dimensional. Don't allow them to run the ball, get them into passing situations, and then get to the passer, because if they can play the whole playbook, and then if they feel comfortable just running the ball 2 times on first and second down, throw the ball to the flat. Last week they just showed us how disciplined they are and how patient they are of just taking you apart. So very, very good down, good play by the Prague Lions here.
So 2nd and 12. If you look at the down marker, it's actually 2nd and 10. But not anymore, because their running back takes off approximately 8 yards. Justus Selig, another graduate from the NFL Academy in London.
Yeah, just elaborating on that, man, real quick on that third down. But how great is it that we get to mention he's from the NFL Academy, he played college football, he had a stint in the NFL. European football has just grown so much in the last years.
3rd and 3 for the Munich Ravens. Tight formation, run play. And there we have the first touchdown of this game. Justus Selig is bringing it to the house. Touchdown, Munich Ravens.
As so often, this Munich Ravens offense just comes out swinging, deciding on 3rd down to get the jumbo package and extra offensive lineman. And then it's just a basic inside zone. The Prague Lions can match up the numbers, but they definitely can't match up the personnel. Look at the push on that Opu. Everybody on the D-line is back in the backfield 2 or 3 yards. Justus Selig reads it out perfectly. The guy from the back end who was trying to make the play, I think it was Dyke. I'm not sure who it was, number 4 by the Prague Lions. Just can't get there quick enough, and then Justus Selig with great contact balance gets into the end zone for the new score and the opening drive touchdown, 6-0.
Unbelievable. This is what you want to see from your offense. This was an opening drive. You can't ask for more. Opening it with this deep pass to Luis Gaia, and then it was Justus Selig. 3 carries in a row, and he is in the end zone. 6-0 for the Munich Ravens.
Yeah, just like that, you know what I said is it doesn't matter like if you get the ball first or second. What matters most is if you score on opening drives, and just amazing to see, man. Munich came out very, very aggressive. Maybe they also knew that Prague is just going to set back and stay back and play coverage, believing that they like want to play it safe, and then the Ravens just come out with a double move, double route to Luis Gaia, executed perfectly. Ball was even a little underthrown. Could have been a score on the first play. But apart from that, man, great execution from this team, but to no one's surprise.
Extra point by Daniel Schweiger, and this is good. So we have a 7-0 lead for the Munich Ravens here in Prague in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, good field goal. Could have had 5 to 10 yards more. I think we got to talk more about special teams, Oku, because last week really showed us what a big impact that can have and how game deciding it is, especially in the tight games. Kudos to the kicker here, making that kick center through the uprights, even in the bad weather conditions. Hey man, shout out to the Munich Ravens fans, telling you.
So now we can be Very curious what the offense of the Prague Lions is bringing to the table today, facing this ultra strong defense of the Munich Ravens. Returning it is Ken Hike Jr., the U.S. free safety of the Prague Lions, but good kickoff coverage here by the Munich Ravens.
Yeah, very important drive. I was saying it last week already, Opu, that if you face the Munich Ravens, and you already saw how good the offense is, you already saw how they move the ball, you got to think 4 downs from the get-go. And you got to be aggressive from the get-go. So all your trick plays, all your deep shots, everything you have dialed up, don't hold anything back. Don't believe that you're going to beat them by just playing basic football, by limit your mistakes. You got to come out swinging, you got to come out aggressive, and you got to make this a game early.
Empty backfield for the Prague Lions. Jalen Henderson on the shotgun. First completion to William Patterson, and that's a new first down for the Prague Lions.
Prague comes out in an empty formation. But the great thing about Prague's offense is with Henderson back there, you still got to respect the runner. And then we just see he reads the defense. Willie Patterson just sits perfectly in the zone coverage. Good scouting right here, good execution by one of the best dudes of this league.
Trips to the right side of the offense for the Prague Lions. Adam Žuželka carrying the ball. And again, that's a good gain. Might not have been enough for a new set of downs, but it's definitely close.
Good job by Žuželka here. Bouncing outside, you know, it's like one of those things where defenses sometimes, they just play enough on the outside to make you believe that they are right there to tackle you inside, and Žuželka just did a great job there, bouncing out, breaking the outside
second and
containment.
1. That's something like a waist down. You can try something, and they do it with a screen to William Patterson.
Man, give it up already for this offense. I think the way they spread this ball around now with different formations, coming up with different extremes, pitching this ball around, it's like, honestly, man, that's really good execution, and they really found the holes and already finding the holes and the weak spots in this Munich Ravens defense from the get-go.
And one thing very important for the Prague Lions today, the Prague Lions offense has to be a little bit the Prague Lions defense, because they have to keep Russell Tabor off the field. Next run play, Adam Žuželka trying to spin his way around, but there is not much of spinning if number 99, Hiswil Awua, is in the area, because this guy is like a human refrigerator. He is like unbelievable.
Man, I checked out one of his YouTube videos during the weeks. Fun guy, just fun guy to be around. Check out his Insta channel, YouTube channel. But yeah, I think Žuželka had a space there, on the right side. I think he didn't read it correctly, and there was a bunch of movement there. So, I mean, 2 yards are still 2 yards.
2nd and 8 for the Prague Lions. Pass over the middle, but incomplete. Trying to hit his tight end, Martin Shavelka. And yes, I can give you guys that little tip. Hiswil Awua is also a musician. He's also singing and producing music. And this is really interesting. I mean, I really like that.
Yeah, me too. Hey, by the way, right here, the situation. Think 4 downs. Don't think, let's get the 3rd down, and then you got to think 4 downs. See how they backed off? Throw a quick screen, get 3-4 yards, make it a 4th down, and make it more manageable.
3rd and 8, Jalen Henderson to pass it deep. Direction of Matthias Billy, but slightly overthrown. No chance to get to the ball for number 12.
Yeah, I still like that. You know, as I said, you know, rather like play quick and play 4 downs or be aggressive. And this time they kind of catch him in the blitz, and they get Billy on a one-on-one, which isn't quite the best matchup because, of course, you have your best European receiver or your best local receiver, but he's matched up against an American. Could have been a better pass. But also, I like the aggressiveness. I like them taking the shot. But I would have liked it more if they would have throw the ball quick, get 3-4 more yards, and convert this on a 4th down.
So the punt from the Prague Lions is out. Bijan Harris trying everything, but is not getting any further than the 11-12 yard line.
But you kind of saw, right? You kind of saw there, Opa, right? How he's able to break tackles. I mean, he's not going down, and he had that ball like in a really bad spot in the left corner. So very good punt and very well placed. But take a look. Look how he like makes one move, whoop, breaks a tackle, whoop, breaks a second tackle, whoop. And that's like in a that's in a phone booth, you know. And like, look, that's the fifth guy there. It's the fifth person trying to attempt a tackle. He was already trying it before, but you kind of saw how dangerous this guy is because he can also move in a phone booth.
Are there still people out there that know what a phone booth is?
I know you are.
I do. First and 10 at the 11-yard line for the Munich Ravens. But if we learned something this season, bad field position doesn't have any influence of the offensive scheme of the Munich Ravens. We see the swing pass to the outside to Justus Selig. So 2nd and 2, they already freed themselves from this dangerous field position. Russell Tabor is changing the play as the trips bunch to the right. Hand off to his running back. A new first down. Again, it was Justus Selig, number 5. He's sharing the snaps on the running back position with normally Justin Rodney, number 33, and Benedikt Pola, number 26. Pola is in right now, as we see.
Yeah, Pola kind of had his breakout game last week, Opu. I know he shared this backfield, but he proved that he's a valuable runner back there. The way he keeps his contact balance, the way he always moves his feet, and it's just a great 1-2 punch and allows Justus Selig to stay fresh over 4 quarters.
From the shotgun, Russell Tabor, quick pass to the outside, finding Luis Gaia. And Luis Gaia gets out of bounds after a gain of about 5.
Similar picture we've seen here today as we've seen over the last weeks. You know, they came out, as I said, swinging, taking the deep shots, but now they're just playing it quite safe, you know. They run the ball because they know they dominate on line of scrimmage. They use some widespread formations if they have the numbers outside, meaning you only have one cornerback at the line of scrimmage against 2 of the receivers. They will throw out that quick screen. They will take those 5 yards until you put an extra guy out there or put somebody down. And then they're going to throw a ball deep again or run it through the middle.
Next run play by the Munich Ravens. Benedikt Pola carries it to a new set of downs.
Again, good different run here. This time like a pitch toss action. I think it's basically like an outside zone scheme, but you pitch the ball. He read it quickly. Again, a lot of movement there by the line. So the big sexies up front doing a great job today already for the Munich Ravens. Not only protecting, but also blocking well. And this offense of the Munich Ravens is moving and rolling again.
Well, Prague Lions are showing blitz. And a tackle for loss against Justus Selig. Again, Alexander Borkovic. Already the second time those two meet, and the second time Borkovic is the successor.
Yeah, Borkovic read that out perfectly. A bit of a missed assignment here as well. They didn't account for him. There should have been a call by the offensive line for an extra guy who's coming in, because every time you got someone blitzing through a gap, you should treat him as a defensive lineman instead of like combo block to him. But he's doing a great job of timing that blitz and getting to the backfield and then making that safe tackle, which is not a given against Justus Selig.
2nd and 15 for the Ravens offense. Trips to the left of the offense. Russell Tabor using the safety valve, which is Justus Selig. Didn't find one of the designated wide receivers that he wanted to throw the ball to, so he used Justus Selig.
All right, man, this is the down. You know, like you got a negative play, you forced one. The Munich Ravens got bunched back by throwing the ball to Justus Selig in the flat. He got some extra yardage, but now you have him in that 3rd and 7. You have the first time, you have the chance early in this game to put a stamp on that game from your defense. I got to see some pressure. I got to see a good look by the defense that sets Russell Tabor off guard. There we have it. They bring the extra guy down, so Russell Tabor's a bit confused. got to change the protection. This has got to be the down where they got to get him off the field.
From the shotgun, Russell Tabor throwing the ball deep, and that's a new first down. Malik Stanley with the catch.
Yeah,
And he still refuses to go down.
Yeah, that guy is super physical, but kudos, I just call it, and that's what you kind of expect. Early in the game, third down, this is when you bring your exotic blitz looks, this is when you get the offense off the field. Russell Tabor knows that, stays patient, sees the nickel blitz in from the side, checks the protection, and then just stays patient in the pocket, and he does a great job with Stanley, throwing a very accurate pass for the new first down.
Again, tight formation from the shotgun. Russell Tabor trips bunch to the right. Justus Selig is shifting it over. Play action fake. Russell Tabor is going deep. And he has a wide receiver, which is Sixten Dragan. Touchdown, Munich Ravens.
I love the aggressiveness here by the Munich Ravens. It's 1st and 10, you just got your first down. You were in the first, let's say, hardest situation, but instead of like getting shaky, getting nervous, the only thing you do is you stay with your playbook, you stay with your scouting report, and that's one of my favorite throws. Rolling out to the right, throwing to the left. It's a long throw, it's a tough throw, but by Russell Tabor moving to one side and looking to the right side, that pulls the entire defense and everybody in zone coverage there as well. And that's the one step Dragan needs to be open down the field. And as so often, we already have a game where the Munich Ravens are up by 2 scores.
And the PAT splits it in half. 14-0 the lead for the Munich Ravens. 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter here in the Czech Republic in the Bohemian Stadium in Prague.
Yeah, this game can turn nasty for the Prague Lions pretty early just because the Ravens are so dominant. But we got to come back to that one opportunity, and those opportunities you just can't miss today. Those shots you take, I told you guys, they got to stay aggressive, they got to take those shots. But of course, they also got to execute on them, because every time they don't win, they don't convert, they get off the field without scoring touchdowns, the Munich Ravens will come back on the field. And the higher the lead gets, the more comfortable this offense will get, the better the execution will be, the more fun they will have. And it's just going to be very, very tough to get back into this game.
Kickoff is in the hands of William Patterson, but secure tackle by the Munich Ravens special teams unit, and the Prague Lions offense will hit the field, being led by Jalen Henderson.
Yeah, and Henderson was able to hit a hole and then get some speed going. Like right there, looked like he could have had some more yards, but Maya with a good and safe tackle there, getting Willie Patterson down at the 30-yard line.
So their second drive starts at the 32-yard line. And again, empty backfield for the Prague Lions. Pass to William Patterson, but he fumbles the ball. And the ball is secured by Markus Schlabitz, number 22, safety of the Munich Ravens. Let's check out again what happened.
Let's see if that was a catch. So Willie Patterson is down. Yeah, that's a catch.
Yeah.
They will give that as a catch. He just doesn't protect that ball properly, wants to go up the field. I think the catch looked a bit wobbly, so that might be a reason why he didn't secure perfectly, and then he was just thinking about getting up the field. But I believe this call will stand. This is a catch and then a fumble. I don't know who ripped it free, but there was a guy just really quick in there, punching the ball out or getting a hand on there. Also
it was Bijan Harris, textbook tackle from Bijan Harris. He went for the hips, and one arm went directly for the ball, and he punched the ball out. So it should be Ravens' ball, because
Exactly.
William Patterson definitely had control of the ball, right?
Yes, exactly. And another thing you mentioned today, it's wet and it's wetter field, so that's also, let's say, an explanation of what happened there. It's a mixture of the ball being wet and then Willie Patterson not controlling it correctly. Let's see again for the replay. I think the ref's doing the right job of looking at it again from all angles. The rule is he's got to take 2 steps, make a football move, so he has 1 foot down, right foot is down, left foot is down. He's opened up the field. yeah, this is third foot is down, so this is a clearly fumble. This call will stand and will give the Munich Ravens the ball back at around the 50-yard line.
And the ball didn't move. He had the ball secured, and then it was punched out. There we see Bijan Harris flying in. His right hand is going right for the ball. So we're waiting for the decision of Mr. Peter Parsons, the white head of this officiating crew. And here we see Markus Schlabitz trying to gain some more yards after he picked up the fumble. Well, the officials are really taking that into detail.
After review, the ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense stands. It will be first down, Munich.
So, Mr. Parsons, I definitely have to say Jan Weinreich was a little faster in analyzing this situation. But it came out to be the same decision.
Yeah, the easy thing for my city is, Oku, I'm only talking to you and to the great fans listening today. I don't have 100 players on the field, 30 coaches, and like 1,000 fans in the stadium screaming at me. So if I would have been the whitehead right there, I would have taken some extra time as well.
So the Munich Ravens are back on the field with their offense. Russell Tabor from the shotgun. Malik Stanley making it a condensed formation. Pass and intercepted. Interception by Jan Chris. This is something that the Prague Lions need to lift up their confidence.
Yeah, and talking about a big play by this defense, getting the momentum right back, and even some extra yardage. But I gotta say, Russell Tabor's just forcing this throw. I understand they want to get aggressive, and the game plan today was to throw the ball deep on first down. But either there was a miscommunication between Min and Stanley, or this is just a bad pass. But this ball is well underthrown and also into coverage. It would have been better advice to throw that ball into the flat again. I'm not sitting in the QB room. I'm not on the sidelines. I don't know the call. But you got to be safer with this football. Again, understanding from my part, understanding from my side that you want to be aggressive, especially after the turnover. But that's just, you got to be more cautious with the football right there.
Plus what I noticed, I mean, you played quarterback, but that was like the slowest play action fake I've ever seen in football. I mean, they were both barely moving. I mean, Russell Tabor held the ball and waited and waited and waited, and then he started this procedure to throw the ball. So back-to-back turnovers. The Prague Lions are having the ball back, and here we have their new acquisition on the running back position, Mr. Paul Breuer.
Yeah, also, just like the Munich Ravens, the Prague Lions have their 1-2 punch now as well with Juzelka and Paul Breuer. I think both very good running backs. Paul Breuer played for the NFL Academy as well. So again, man, I just love talking about that development of the game, the experience those guys have, and then the great players they've become. But this just gives the already, I think, somewhat deep personnel of the Prague Lions another option to give the ball to.
Second and 8, tight formation. William Patterson from the backfield as a running back. Has problems finding some room, but turns into a gain of 2 yards, and a couple of yards will be added to that because there was a foul.
Holding offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Miguel Cabancaya, the right tackle, with the holding call against him here.
Yeah, let's check that again. Right tackle. The left tackle, I think you said.
Yeah, it was the left tackle.
Yeah, I got to see it again from the angle we had. I'm not pretty sure if there was a holding. Definitely unfortunate for the Lions.
2nd and 18, quick pass to the outside. Connecting with Matiashvili, but not much of a gain.
Yeah, by the way, that's the one thing you can't have today. I mean, you got to be aggressive as well, but what you can't have are those flags, because then if you take those short passes to Billy, this is like nothing. This is like a present and like a gift to the Munich Ravens defense all the time, because if you allow them, if they're allowed to get into this 3rd and 15s and they're allowed to get the exotic blitz looks up, they will take that any time, and they will also allow you to throw those short passes any down.
3rd and 15, William Patterson in the motion. Patterson steps up, but the ball is batted down. So again, the Prague Lions are sending out their punting unit. Minute 51 to play in the opening quarter here in the Bohemian Stadium. I'm not trying to pronounce the Czech name, because that can only be embarrassing. There are so many things above those letters, I don't know how to pronounce that. So we keep it with Bohemian Stadium in Prague. And Bijan Harris wants to have a little bit more fun, but he touched the outside boundaries.
Yeah, so no Bijan Harris action here today. They did a great job doing this, but again, I think you had 2 opportunities here early in this game to get back, to get the momentum on your side. You didn't use them, and once this game is going to get longer and once this offense of the Ravens is going to get more opportunities and you don't score, you will find yourself in a pretty bad spot soon.
There we definitely saw in the slow motion that Bijan Harris stepped on the outside boundaries. Ravens with a run play, Justus Selig gaining about 7 yards.
Backbone of this offense, you know, they can do it all, especially Justus Selig can do it all. Just go back to this inside zone run scheme they have. He's tanking through. And when the offensive line blocks the whole thing through for like a 4 or 5 yard game, Justus Selig is always able to like read it out perfectly, get his head down,
for an injured player.
and they get more yards out of it. See that, man? 5 guys for a tackle. Just the respect Justus Selig has, and that he deserves as well.
Not quite 5'7", but almost 100 kilos.
Woo. Bowling ball.
So, bowling ball, low center of gravity. It's not that easy to get that guy off his feet. But we have an injured player, an injured Raven on the field. And here we see it again. That was his first touchdown run, how shifty and quick he is with his legs. Justus Selig. Last season played for the Madrid Bravos. And now he joined the Munich Ravens due to the fact that he is studying to become a doctor in Bavaria. That's why Munich was his first choice. Again, run play for the Munich Ravens. But a good defense there by number 90 of the Prague Lions, which is the Mexican import, Adrian Gonzalez, the I import in the squad of the Prague Lions.
And we have an injury right there. I did not completely
Timeout
saw
on
what
the
happened.
field for an injured player.
Looks like he's getting up pretty early, or already he's getting up, but always
Martin
unfortunate to see
Majek, the
that.
linebacker, number 55. But as strange as it sounds, it looked like he was hurt but not injured.
Yeah, I think that's the correct way of saying. Also looks like he just needs a breather. So he will be back on the field soon.
3rd and 1 for the Munich Ravens, still in their own half. At the 33-yard line, deep pass, but incomplete. But there is the flag coming in. They're saying this is a pass interference.
Yeah, and Icaro is not agreeing with that call at all. He said he was looking for the ball. Let's take a look at the review. I believe that's going to give us a clear answer. The receiver was Marvin Rutsch. It's just an inside
Pass
fade.
interference, defense, number 16. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Let's take another look.
Well, at the end, he is turning his head, but his hands were already on the whiteout when he turned his head. So it's always a difficult decision. I mean, you can call that. You don't necessarily have to call it, from my point of view.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. I mean, if you're going to call this entire game the same way the entire time, we're going to have a lot of pass interference calls here today. There was a little grabbing and everything, so that's just keep your hands where you were already in good coverage. But yeah, that's a tougher call, I must say.
1st and 10 at the Lions 45. Quick pass to the outside. That was Luis Gaia again, number 7. Already has over 30 catches this season, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. And we always have to mention it. He was the MVP of the ELF last year in Stuttgart, Luis Gaia. Last seconds of the opening quarter are ticking away. Russell Tabor looking away to run the ball as he does. And then he slides. That might be... Well, they were unlucky with their pass interference call. They were lucky that there is not a flag coming in for a late hit.
Yeah, no, I disagree with you there, man. Russell Tabor's just got to do a better job of getting down earlier. In my beliefs, it's the job of the quarterback to take care of himself instead of sliding as late as he did right there. And it's not really... I understand that, like, there was some touching and moving.
That is the end.
But you see how fast Icaro guys make the decision. He's chasing Russell Tabor down. He's not really going for the hit. He's also just trying to stop. If you really want to be protected, if you don't want to get hit, just get down a yard earlier. I mean, if it's that important to you, if you can't take that hit, if you're scared of getting hurt, I understand. Just go down, and I think nothing happens. Gives Icaro another second to react, and I think nothing happens there.
And one has to hand it to the defensive players. I mean, they're trying to get this ball carrier, and they're going full speed in his direction, and then suddenly the quarterback starts sliding, and I mean, you cannot stop within 1 step from full sprint to 0. I mean, that's physically not possible.
Yeah, and again, that's a special rule for the quarterback, and with me used to playing quarterback myself, I understand, you always want to play in between the rules, and you want to get as much for a team as you can. But at the end of the day, we're blessed as quarterbacks that we're protected by the league and that we're protected by those special rules. While we see the quick highlights from the last game.
Let's start the second quarter here in Prague in the Bohemian Stadium. The Munich Ravens are leading it 14-0.
Yeah, I just want to
Next catch by Sixten Dragan.
I just want to finish my point about the sliding thing because I used to play QB. I understand that, but there's just so much stuff going on, and it's just so tough on defenders to do the right thing. They don't want to hit us late. They're usually not dirty. It's just very, very tough for them to play within the rules, and the rule is made so we're protected, so we don't get hurt, and it's a special rule. So it's our job to go down earlier and to be protected, and if that means I'm not getting the extra yardage, that's what it is. And if I want to get the extra yardage, I'm just going to take my head down. It's my decision. So I strongly believe that was the right call because Ikanu couldn't have done anything different there.
1st and 10 for the Ravens. Quick pass to the outside. Luis Gaia having the ball, and another gain of about 5-6 yards for the Munich Ravens.
Yeah, those quick screens, I mean, you got to be very disciplined and you got to be like quick to the ball. I think the Prague Lions right now doing a great job of getting multiple people to the tackle. But over 4 quarters, that's a tough job. You know, like if you need to run out as a linebacker all the time, you got to do those 10, 15-yard sprints. You still got to tackle a 95-kilo right receiver, which is like 200 pounds. And then you still got to play the run against those linemen. This is going to exhaust you and wear and tear you out over 4 quarters.
Empty backfield for Russell Tabor. Trips to the right. Pass to the outside, finding his white out with number 3, as they call him, Malik the Freak Stanley.
Malik the Freak, I like that. Yeah, empty formation. Biggest benefit of that is 2 things. First, if you have 5 receivers to throw the ball to, so a lot of options for QB. And usually quarterbacks nowadays grew up in spread offenses, so they're used to that. And second, the defense is always going to show you their hands straight away. They're going to show if it's man coverage and then blitz you and pressure you, or they're going to stand back in their most common zone, which you usually have in your scout report. It's usually like some kind of cover 2 or some kind of cover 3. And when you have 5 good receivers as Munich Ravens, it's easy for Russell Tabor to throw that ball to
at the 4-yard line, the Munich Ravens. Russell Tabor going to the end zone. Sixten Dragan, his 2nd touchdown of the game. Touchdown, Munich Ravens.
Good job there by Sixten Dragan, working across the field. Great execution there on his part. Going underneath the linebacker and then working himself on top of the field, going deeper. So what he does got to do on this drag route is go underneath the defender to then go steamer on top in the back of the end zone, which is quite hard when you're in red zone. Russell Tabor here doing a great job of just working through his reads, like the eye discipline right there and the footwork. Of course, when you don't pressure him, he's going to dice you up and he's going to just feed off that and feed off all of his players. Good for accurate throw there by Tabor. Good execution by the entire offense here again.
Beginning of the second quarter, the score is 21-0 for the Munich Ravens. Here we see Sixten Dragan, who actually played last season in Madrid as well, together with Justus Selig. He played for the Madrid Bravos. And his head coach was one of our color commentators here, Mr. Andrew Weidinger.
Hey man, shout out to Andrew Weidinger. A lot of the stuff I'm saying and a lot of the things I'm talking here out is stuff I learned from him, from his YouTube channel and from conversations with him. And great guy, and the influence he had on those young guys, but also on people like me is just so huge. So if you're listening to this sometime, man, Andrew, hi from my side. Hope to talk to you soon about ball again.
And Sixten Dragan not only catching balls from Russell Tabor, he's also performing the kickoff for the Munich Ravens. That one did not hit the landing zone. So again, they're giving the Prague Lions a pretty good field position. Let's see whether they can somehow get some points on the board.
The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down. All
right, man. 21-0. Don't let that game slip away from you. I think you missed the chance of being aggressive. You missed the chance of taking your shots Munich isn't ready for. So now you really just got to play to your strength, discipline football, and rely on your best players, such as Willie Pedersen and Henderson.
Oh, there's another flag flying in. But as you said before, those quick passes, quick screens to the outside, to the wide receivers, Munich is really defending that very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, across the board. They're very well coached, but this is a very talented physical football team. So, I mean, if everybody on defense is a good player and you trust each other, it's easier to play your assignments. You know, like linebackers can fly to the ball a bit easier because they trust their defensive line so much that they're going to hold up those gaps. It's easier to read if you have defensive backs who are physical and like pick up the blocks and break up the blocks and or shed the blocks, which is the right term. It's just much easier than everybody.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 22 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So penalty against Marco Schlabitz, who was recovering the fumble of Willie P before. Willie P again in the backfield, now shifting it out, making it a trips to the left side. Adam Żużelka, the ball carrier. Nice run by number 11.
Kudos to this offensive line, this run game. Another good run here by Żużelka, who shows off his breakaway speed and his how quick and powerful he is. Just an inside zone, finds the crease, and then everybody's just basically a step late. He breaks one tackle, keeps his feet moving to get his Prague Lions offense into the red zone. Again, man, I'm thinking 4 downs here all the way. I'm not kicking a field goal, no matter what the down or distance is. I'm telling that to my QB, I'm telling that to my players. We have 4 downs right here. We got to convert all of them. We got to be in the end zone after this drive.
Pass attempt by Jalen Henderson, but incomplete. Yeah, talking about Adam Żużelka, he's about 5'11" and roughly 225. So to tackle this guy really takes something. If he's on the run, he has quick feet, and he's a power back, definitely. Oh, nice defensive work, deflecting the ball there. So 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Willie P in the backfield. Oh, but great hustling defensive work by the Ravens.
Yeah, same thing though. I mean, it's got to come down to Willie P to break those tackles and like to be that workhorse as a right receiver and like just to be force-fed. But it's sometimes it can get exhausted for this Munich Ravens defense. Right now, they rally to the football, they're fast, they're physical, they get multiple people there, but eventually that can tire your team out. Again, though, like we're in the 3rd 11 here, you're thinking 4 down territory. You do treat this like it's 2nd down in a normal situation. You don't think that you're gonna shoot, just kick a field goal right here.
Double twins to the outside, pass to the outside. Finding his number 7, Radim Kalus.
And I think that's exactly what they did here. You know, Munich Ravens were in a typical 3rd down defense, getting one of those special blitz looks in. They get them.
Willie Patterson is getting a nice hello from the defender of the Munich Ravens there. Fourth and 4, the offense stays on the field as requested by Jan Weinreich. Tip ball, turnover on downs.
Tip balls is the story of the game here, Opu. I think it's the 3rd tip ball we have at the line of scrimmage. And it's just great preparation and great coaching, because the way Jalen Henderson has thrown the ball, it's tough to get to him. You know, even if you get free, I believe you got to get multiple players towards him, because he's going to scramble around. It's going to be hard to get to him. So as a D-lineman, especially as an interior D-lineman, if you don't get one of those quick pressures, it's better for you to kind of stop your pass rushing moves, get eyes on Jalen Henderson, knowing he's rather going to scramble and move upwards the pocket or throw the ball away, and you just tip the ball down, because it's just as good as an incompletion, which basically is an incompletion, is just as good as a tackle for 0 yardage. So I think that's great preparation and great game plan by Coach Ellison of just telling his team to be patient, wait for Henderson, and just bat that ball down.
10 minutes up to play in the first half. Ravens have the ball, empty backfield. Russell Tabor pass to the outside to Luis Gaia, who is twisting and turning and almost manages to get a new first down.
Yeah, when you allow this offense to just pitch and catch it, they will do it. Here again, Russell Tabor, quick drop back, basically just like a 3-step concept, as you would call it. Then Luis Gaia just turns up the field pretty quickly, makes turns a 5-yard catch into an 8-yard gain.
So Russell Tabor, play action fake. The ball is tipped.
Did he?
And lucky Munich Ravens. What a catch there off the deflection. And Philip Okonkwo is concentrating on the ball and pulling it in.
I mean, look at that. That would have been a turn of events. Here again, same thing for the Prague Lions. Great job of batting that ball down. And Mašek, it's just like maybe a third of a yard, maybe like a quarter of a yard of a step away of getting into better position to catch that. But Okonkwo, man, showing great concentration on the ball and then also strong hands by ripping it out from Mašek.
So somehow the Munich Ravens managed to convert that into a new first down. Run play for the right side of the offense. Adrian Gonzalez again, the Mexican guy, stopping Justus Selig.
Yeah, just basic outside zone scheme here. So everybody of the O-line is moving horizontally 3 to 4 steps to the right side, moving those gaps, and then it's pretty tough for a defensive tackle, just like Gonzalez is big and strong. Usually, like, you want to be in those trenches using your power. But Gonzalez proven that he's able to move all of his weight there, making the tackle after 4 yards.
2nd and 6 for the Ravens. Still in their own territory. Quick pass to the outside. What a catch by Benedikt Pola. That was not easy to pick that thing up.
Man, I'm becoming a fan of this guy. I'm telling you, Opu. Like last week, I already fell in love with him, and I was basically just calling like a strong runner. But look at the hands right there. That's not an easy catch. That's not an easy catch at all. Like ball is thrown way too low. He's in a full sprint. He luckily gets it up, and then it's good enough to get the contact balance, moving up a field. And he was just inches away of turning that bad throw into a big gain.
That's really his coming out season for Benedikt Pola, somebody who I have to admit I did not really have on my schedule, on my sheets, Benedikt Pola, but
on your bingo card.
Yes, on my bingo card, but in the last couple of weeks, he really turned up the speed and is carrying the ball and making people miss. Has sure hands catching the ball. So he's really showing up, Benedikt Pola, number 26 of the Munich Ravens.
This is what this is all about, Opu. Putting European players in the spotlight, giving them a place to shine, as we see the touch on here to Dragan again. Mentioning again, great job by him running his route, staying to the roots of his route and to the concept. But yeah, I mean, it's not about knowing everybody, Opu. It's about getting to know everybody, just like Pola, like an unknown guy 2-3 weeks ago for us, for many people, and just proving that he's a great football player, he's a baller, and he's a very important part of European football, and especially for the Munich Ravens.
3rd down, and there he is again, Benedikt Pola, showing his speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man, for his size and the way he's built, he has some serious downfield speed. The way, like, he's able to turn upfield and just like getting balance in real quick. Like look at that. Like, it's just one quick move, like one quick stutter, and he's just running away from every linebacker, from all the linebackers, you know, and then turning a 8-yard catch into a 20-yard gain. So again, man, it's Russell Tabor's doing a great job of spreading the ball around, but it's also I don't want to say easy thing to do, but it's a good thing to do if you can throw the ball to the flat and it turns out to be like a 20, 25-yard gain because your running backs and your skill players are just so explosive.
Russell Tabor from the shotgun hands it off to Justus Selig, which is easy to differentiate because Justus Selig is not even 5'7". Benedikt Pohler is 5'9", but both of them are roughly 220. So to get those guys off their feet, you really have to deliver a good hit.
Yeah, and they're fresh. That's the biggest difference. Like, look at all those starters, especially those linebackers by the Prague Lions. They already have their hands in their hips. They got to move around. They got to be physical at the point of attack, and they're not getting subbed in and out like those guys do. Like, they can take plays off. They're off the field. Sometimes they don't even get the ball. So they're just much fresher, and it's so tough to play those over 4 quarters.
Russell Tabor aiming over the middle. Pass complete. And this is Marvin Rutsch, and there we have the next one with an impressive nickname because they call him Marvelous Marvin Rutsch.
I love it. I love it, man.
So we got Malik the Freak, we got
Personal
Marvelous
foul,
Marvin.
Roughing the passer, defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So this is something that really hurts the Lions, although it's not really going in their favor in this matchup so far.
Correction, the enforcement is half the distance to the goal.
So with 5:38 on the clock in the second half, in the second quarter, I'm sorry. Munich Ravens are at the doorsteps of the Prague Lions end zone again. Coming out, trips to the right. Sixten Dragan is shifting into the offensive backfield. Gets the ball, but good defensive work by the Prague Lions here. Again, Alexander Borkovic, whenever there's something good happening for the defense of the Prague Lions, number 0, Alexander Borkovic, is not far away.
Yeah, I really like Borkovic, man. He kind of reminds me by the playing style, not only by the number of Ludwig Mühren from the Nordic Storm, you know, like a linebacker that's very athletic. You will find him all over the field, and if you blitz him, he's good enough and elusive enough to like duck under those holes, duck under those blocks. And as I said, man, you find him in the pass, you find him in the run, and he's a pretty safe tackler, as I want to say, from today's game.
Quick pass to the outside. That is Luis Gaia. And he is in for the touchdown. Next score for the Munich Ravens, number 7, Luis Gaia.
What a play here by him. Just showing you how superior they are on the outside. Again, just a quick screen. And I've been telling, like, it's so hard to defend those. It's so hard to always get to those. It's just a numbers game if you throw the ball or not. And if you don't get multiple guys to the tackle, or if you don't shed one of those blocks, you got to get some kind of advantage, because if it's a one-on-one, they're usually going to win this, or they're going to break a tackle just like they did here. It takes one bad angle, and a 5-yard gain turns into a touchdown. Good play here, good execution. Great blocking, man. Great blocking by the receivers. One of my old coaches always used to say, the way you can see if a football team is well coached, or if it's a good team or a bad team, is how well receivers block and how good cornerbacks tackle, and how good they can shed blocks. And the Munich wide receivers, they block really, really well across the board, which allows them to just throw those easy, quick screens, throw those balls out to their right receivers, because they're just so superior on the perimeter and blocking and executing.
So with 4.5 minutes still to play in the first half, the Munich Ravens are leading at 28-0. And I have the feeling in the second half, Jan, we will see a couple of backups from the Munich Ravens on the field.
Yeah, usually it's like the third quarter, they still keep everybody out there. let everybody ball and execute, because the game plan is deep and you want to get everybody the ball, and everybody like kind of needs to get into rhythm, and then you still want to play up to your standards. But I think by the fourth quarter we're gonna have like a lot of people who are low on the roster and low on the depth chart on the field.
Ken Hite Jr. on the return, but has nowhere to go, then out of bounds. So far, the Prague Lions only attempted one deep pass when Jalen Henderson tried to find Matjashvili. Now they're coming out empty backfield again. Jalen Henderson tucks the ball in, only gains about 3 yards.
Yeah, that's one of the matchups. I've been saying it. Like, Jalen Henderson will go through his reads, go through his first and second read. If he doesn't throw the ball by then, he will usually take off, run himself, and this is what the Munich Ravens were already here. And that's probably what the scouting report and the scouting has been all week, that you rather got to create a quick pressure, or you're just going to stand back and then let Jalen Henderson run into the pressure and run into your guys, and you're just going to rally to the tackle.
Nice blocking here from the Prague Lions. But still about 2 yards short of a new first set of downs. Adam Žuželka, the ball carrier.
Good running here today by the Prague Lions. I mean, they've been running those inside zone schemes, and they were executing pretty well. This time they come in with a counter action. I think on the line everything was blocked pretty well. The guy from a safety position or from the nickel position had to come down to make that tackle.
Timeout. Munich, their second.
And Jan, the thing is, if you would be the offensive coordinator of the Prague Lions, taking into consideration that they desperately cannot afford that Jalen Henderson is getting hurt, because they need him in those last 2 games of the season against the Raiders and the Galaxy, which will be the most important games of the year for the Prague Lions. Would you have the game plan of less Jalen Henderson, dual threat, playing, carrying the ball himself, rather keep him in the pocket?
No, I mean, if I want to win this game, I'm taking everything out of my players, but knowing this is not the players and knowing this game might be already lost, I'm just keeping it simple from now on. You know, I'm still trying to score here, I've got to be honest. Like, you still try to score, maybe you get it to a 2-possession game, but my thought process is of keeping it simple from now on and keep everything in for the playoffs, where then I got to use Jalen Henderson as a runner to win these games.
Willie P., the ball carrier, out of the backfield. But we have another flag. Peter Parsons, the white hat.
Offside, defense, number 47. 5-yard penalty is enough for a first down.
So Dominik Schmidt, linebacker of the Munich Ravens, is giving the Prague Lions a new first down.
Yeah, only thing you say there is thanks for the presents. You know, just like an easy first down, gifted towards you. And as I said before, you don't give yourself up now. Like, you still have a bunch of football left. Never know what happens. You're still thinking that you want to score here, even though the chances and the odds are rallied up against you.
This Munich Ravens defense is so strong, so powerful, and they're so quick. And as you mentioned before, Jan, you almost never see somebody having a single-handed tackle. I mean, there are always numerous defenders on the ball carrier. Everybody is hustling towards the ball. 2nd and 9 for the Prague Lions. Pass complete from Jalen Henderson. And again, it's number 7, Radim Kalus.
Let's take a look. Again, Henderson doing a great job of staying in rhythm, finding the hole in the defense. And this time it's Kalus on an inbreaker, right behind the linebackers and right in front of the safeties. Just good timing, just very good anticipation though. Like a lot of coverages you can beat if you have great anticipation. Of course, if your receiver is running the good route and comes out explosive out of his breaks, because there will always be separation right after the cut. There's some danger with that, there's some risk with that, so you got to trust the play, you got to trust what you see, and you got to trust your receivers, because if you're wrong and just throw the ball blindly with anticipation, it can always turn out bad, like an interception or incompletion. But this time, man, you really see how Henderson is dialed in now with this Prague Lions team, and how well he completed a pass right there.
We're in the middle of the 2-minute warning, which leads us to telling you that you should scan that code down there and get your tickets for the 15th and 16th of August at the PSD Bank Arena, formerly known as the Purple Hell in Frankfurt. Because after the performance of the Galaxy yesterday, I think you cannot really call it the Purple Hell anymore. Although it's been made a Purple Hell because of the Frankfurt Galaxy fans, and the Frankfurt Galaxy fans are still second to none. They are really impressive. What an atmosphere they create every game day in Frankfurt. And there will be the Big Four tournament, which will be one big, huge American football festival held in Frankfurt, 15th and 16th of August. Get your tickets now. Empty backfield for the Prague Lions. Willie P is getting the ball.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, they got to throw a holding on that play. I mean, that's as clear as it gets. We got to see it in a replay soon. But Bijan Harris was like running towards the ball carrier, and he was just like dragged down. And as I said, that's as easy as it gets.
So you're saying it was not a holding, it was rather an offensive tackle.
Holding. Offense.
Yeah,
Number 7. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
What's it called in WWE wrestling when you like hit somebody with one arm? What's it called? I
cannot tell you. I'm not interested
clothesline
at all.
Close.
Yeah,
clothesline.
I heard that before, probably.
Yeah, look at that. That's like a clothesline tackle right there. I mean, it's you can't hold clearer than that. Good throw by the refs there.
So it's 2nd and 20 for the Prague Lions. Pass to the outside. Matiashvili with the catch.
Good safe tackle here. I mean, you're always going to give up some yardage. No coverage is perfect. If you play, quote unquote, soft as they do here, like if you give some separation, but what you got to do there is rally to the football, make the quick tackle, just as I did here.
Next pass over the middle. Jalen Henderson completes it again to number 12, Matiashvili.
Yeah, and there we have him, Billy, one of the fan favorites since last week. This is the area he thrives in. He's so good in reading coverages and running his routes in between those safeties, so in the medium field. And then it's a contested catch. Waldron came down in tight coverage, but Billy showing off his strong hands, getting you first down, keeping the drive alive. Back-to-back catches here by Billy, so good job, man.
Timeout. Prague, they're first. Please set the game clock to 58 seconds.
Everything said by Peter Parsons, the whitehead of this match up here in the Czech Republic in Prague. When you're coming from the US, whenever you come to Europe, just somehow find the time to visit Prague. It's a city packed of history and culture like you've never seen it before. I can promise you, when you're coming from the US, this is something you've never seen before. So 58 seconds on the clock. The Prague Lions are at the 30-yard line of the Munich Ravens. Jalen Henderson trying to buy some time, but he is tackled for big loss.
And I mentioned it before, game plan is clear. The Munich Ravens will never send more than 4 people. They want to keep Henderson in the pocket, wait for him to throw, or they're ready when he tries to run outside the pocket, when he tries to break outside contain. But the Munich Ravens are ready for that. Great job by Zungerbel. I think it's one of the hardest last names, even for Germans to pronounce, to go out there, make the jump in sack. So I think you really saw greatly there that you really saw that what the game plan is and how to defend a scrambling QB. Like, you kind of accept that he's going to stand in the pocket and he's going to throw the ball around. You just don't want him to become a runner, and you don't want him to become a runner in the open field. So if you don't contain him, you really got to rally to the football. You really got to run towards him, and it's better that you have 2 or 3 people at the point of attack than just one. But as again, great job here by the defense of the Munich Ravens.
If my information is correct, that was the 7th sack of the season for Johannes Zungerbel. Not that hard. Maybe due to the fact that I lived in Bavaria quite a while, Zungerbel is nothing which is problematic to me.
And there you see the difference, man, between a newcomer like me in the commentary business and a pro like you. You know, like, you're well experienced, you got all the names down. That's the notes I got to take from you, I'm telling you.
The ball carrier was down inbounds prior to the ball coming out. In order to avoid a 10-second runoff, Prague are taking a timeout. That will be their 2nd timeout.
So the Prague Lions had to take this timeout, as Peter Parsons explained to us, to avoid that 10-second runoff, because Jalen Henderson was intentionally fumbling the ball out of bounds. So they've been at the 31, now they're at the 41-yard line of the Munich Ravens. Let's see what they have prepared for the last couple seconds in the first half here. 28-0 the lead for the Munich Ravens. Nice pocket movement by Jalen Henderson. He's going deep. Almost connecting with Matjashvili in the end zone. But I love that pocket movement of Jalen Henderson there when the pressure came in. Unfortunately, we don't see that. Almost caught that ball.
Yeah, that's a very, very tough catch, man. As tough as it gets against Harris and like well outside, we completely in stride. But yeah, perfectly mentioned. I mean, you want to keep Henderson in the pocket, but you also want to pressure him. But this is the thing that gets dangerous. When you pressure him, when you get pressure to him, but he moves the pocket, he gets loose, and he buys himself some more time, and also his receivers more time to get open.
3rd and 20, and the ball comes out, fumbled, but it's taken up by Miguel Cabancaya, who I had the impression took the ball and didn't know what to do with it. It was not that he was like trying to gain some yards. It was like he was waiting for the Ravens players to come up and tackle him.
Final.
I mean, you could basically see that he had all those videos in his head, how offensive linemen move in the NFL or like in football. And whenever they run with the ball, people are flying into his knee. See it right there. This is when he had the videos in mind of like thinking, oh no, nobody's going to fly into my knee. I'm going to be smarter than that. I won't get a first down. I'm not going to play the hero here. I'm just going to go down and live to fight another down. I'm not going to be one of those highlight reels. It's going to be going viral over Instagram and TikTok and YouTube or whatever. I'm just going to go down and play it safe.
He probably had in his mind, guys, I'm 6'5" and roughly 315. I'm not a running back. Punt is out. taken up. Bijan Harris tripping over his own feet, and there are flags flying in. Well, on that return, we saw that Bijan Harris, his feet were faster than the rest of his body. So he, in a way, tackled himself.
It's turf monster right there.
Yeah, this mean turf monster, even in Prague. So 18 seconds on the clock. I don't think that there is that much happening from the offense of the Munich Ravens in these remaining 18 seconds.
During the return, there are fouls by both teams. Holding, return team number 38. Personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 21. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of Munich's holding foul, first down.
Okay, wherever they have their first down, there are still only 18 seconds to go, and the Munich Ravens are leading it 28-0, and there is no necessity to have another score, so they are in victory formation. Russell Tabor is kneeling it off, sends both teams into the locker rooms for the halftime, and we are back for the third quarter here in Prague, when the Prague Lions and the Munich Ravens play the second half.
That is the end of the first half.
Yeah. You ready? Hey. Let's go. Back. I'm at my prime. I don't need your endorsement. I don't need reinforcement. Giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa.
Jde opravdu o to, abyste se nehli. Tyhle ty hráči, červený trička jsou rozhodčí. Také.
Yeah.
You ready?
Hey. Let's go. Back. Yo, once again I'm back around. Real shit back in style. Haters reconcile. I'm so black and proud. First class tickets now. Feet all in the eye. Everybody looking down. Everybody get red when you brown, huh? Look at me, up. I'm putting it down, you picking it up. Checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck. Go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune. Common sense, welcome to the apocalypse. Bitch, I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement, giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa. Have I gone too far? Do you detect something different? If you look inside my head, would you say something's missing? If you could give all your riches just to say the word, would you risk it? These politicians so old, can't tell if they're dead or they living. Better ask Kathy Griffin. You know I like to raise stakes. We was always taught to hit the gas, we ain't even know they made breaks. We control our own fate, watching dreams take shape. Try to keep us out, we gon' freak out, turn this bitch to Watergate. I don't need your mandate, don't need you to elevate. I'm about to detonate, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Said I'm at my prime. We at our prime. Hey, hey, we at our prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Hey, hey, I'm at my prime. Whoa.
Teams are ready to start the second half here in Prague and Bohemian Stadium of the Prague Lions, where the Munich Ravens are having a comfortable lead of 28-0. 295 passing yards by Russell Tabor. And on the other side, Jalen Henderson, 95 passing yards. The Prague Lions offense is not really putting any danger to the defense of the Munich Ravens so far.
No. Chet Waldron, new import, ex-teammate of mine as well. Great guy, man. Just great guy to be around. Just happy for something or for a call that happened there. Maybe there was some trash talking going on, or
so the first offensive drive of the Prague Lions, playing in red and white, starting at their own 10-yard line. Oh, and it starts right away with an interception by Bijan Harris.
And Bijan Harris, don't give this guy a chance to get on the ball. Out route through the left side. You have that RPO, you have to read, you have to match up. But under pressure, Jalen Henderson can't really set his feet. Ball is a bit inaccurate, bit late as well. Bijan Harrison reads that out, breaks down on the football, makes a great play, and we have the Munich Ravens offense in front of the end zone straight away.
First play of the third quarter, and that was double trouble. First of all, Jalen Henderson had to take a really hard hit to deliver that pass, and Bijan Harris said, "Thank you, I'm taking that." Ravens ball. Hand around by Luis Gaia. Takes one hit, takes a second one. But there's a flag on the play.
You can hear from the sideline after Lewis was running into the defender of the Prague Lions. By the way, great run by Lewis, but great blocking by everybody, man. Like everybody on perimeter.
72, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Yeah, holding. I saw it as well. There was some grabbing going on. There's too much of hugging action going there. You can't block and you can hold a little, but you can't hug the defender. But
well,
again,
they like each other a lot. So
yeah,
give each other a hug once in a while.
Why not?
So 1st and 19 for the Munich Ravens. Russell Tabor, pass to the outside, incomplete. Second incomplete pass for Russell Tabor in this matchup. One interception, and that was the second incomplete pass, trying to hit number 3, Malik Stanley.
Yeah, just Malik Stanley, I think. Just got to control. Just got to be a bit more control. I don't know if he slipped after the break. It looked a bit like that, so he lost his control. And then it's just tough to concentrate on ball, catch the football. Sometimes easier said than done. So after the holding and the incomplete pass, we have a 2nd and 19.
Trips to the left. Pressure coming. Ball is out. And this is Justus Selig going in for the next score for the Munich Ravens. Touchdown, Justus Selig.
Man, 2nd and 19. You just hand the ball off to Justus Selig because you give the Munich Ravens like a softer box. You think like a deep pass is coming, and you just play a quick little screen pass. You get the offense line on the second level. Justus Selig then tanks himself through. Yeah, it's tough to defend. Easier said than done to defend all those plays, and great job by the Ravens, and especially by the O-line getting out there in open field. Blocked extra point here. Doesn't jump on it. It's a little miscue
But
by the
did
Ravens.
you see that slow motion of Justus Selig running? Man, this guy has thighs. Other people call that hips. It's unbelievable. This guy is pure muscle power. As soon as he's moving, you should not step into his way. So it's 34-0 in favor of the Munich Ravens.
Offside, defense, number 4. 5-yard penalty. We will replay the try.
So it's still 34-0, but we'll have a re-kick. Long snapper is Philip Okonkwo, the tight end. And Daniel Schweiger puts it through the uprights. So 35-0, the lead for the Munich Ravens. And that was an explosive start into the third quarter. Not really in favor of the Prague Lions, but look at this, Justus Selig. And he's so hard to get off his feet.
Yeah. I mean, right on. You give the Munich Ravens a chance to score. You give them the opportunity. They will take that all the way. And we mentioned they're soon going to bring out all their backups. And this score just allows them to get everybody on the depth chart on the field way sooner.
Kickoff. Ken Hike is taking the ball. Solid return. Up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, we got to be quite honest. This game is eventually over, already decided. So what you got to do now as the Prague Lions, you got to take all those reps as practice reps. You got to rally your guys around. You got to look each other in the eyes, look each other into each other's faces, and say we're not going to give ourselves up. We're going to play every down 100%. Because those snaps are so valuable to us. All the teachings, all the learnings we're going to have, they're so valuable because we're going against the best. We're going against one of the best defenses in Europe. And if we want to beat them eventually, we got to take a lot of stuff away from this game. And the more snaps and the more film we have, the better for us. Because that's the thing your coaches can teach you on.
Pass by Jalen Henderson, that's complete. Finding number 11, Adam Żużelka.
Timeout on
Yeah,
the field for an injured player.
Quite like when Żużelka's out there, you know, as a receiver, because he's so explosive and so elusive. And just like standing him down the line, he's capable of that. Just see him how quick he can turn up the field, and like he just has a great feel for the field. And when contact is coming, I really quite like that idea, especially with them having also a new running back in there, like mixing it around and just using the full potential of the entire roster. I like what they're doing here, you know. And as I said, this is just so valuable, and those reps are so valuable. Getting everybody in, giving everybody the ball, making everybody better.
Adam Mazupust is injured on the field, number 74, center for the Prague Lions. And this does not look very good.
No, unfortunately it doesn't. Hope he's gonna be better soon.
Yeah, cannot really step on that right foot. Unfortunately, that's typical offensive lineman injury. Those big guys, if they have one weak spot, it's the knees. That's why there are numerous colleges in the US that force their offensive linemen to wear knee braces right away. Quarterback sack against Jalen Henderson.
Yeah, the ball came out at the end. I don't think they jump on it. But Jalen Henderson is here, not on the center. He fakes the ball, but straight away there's this pressure. Munich Ravens doing a great job of stunting and jumping those gaps, realizing it's a passing play. And once Jalen Henderson steps up into the pocket, it's Reich from the backside and coming again. Coaching points and scout report was clear on Jalen Henderson. Rally everybody to the football. Once he steps up into the pocket, once he wants to become a runner, get to him, get multiple people to him, and drag him down as fast as you can.
2nd and 19 for the Prague Lions. Jalen Henderson tries to find Matjashvili, who wants to have a flag, and he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the first half call they got on them called for the defensive pass interference, where I said, if you got to call it as tight as they did right there, you got to call it on both sides.
Defense, number 22. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Come on again, that's just what happened right there, It's okay if you call on both sides, then call on both sides. I wouldn't have called the first pass interference. I wouldn't have called this pass interference, to be quite honest. I think it's kind of still good defense, even though it's early. But at the end of the day, it equals everything out. So it's a good job by the ref, keeping the same line over 4 quarters for both teams.
Well, I used to be a wide receiver back in the time, and I would always call it a pass interference. Oh, Jalen Henderson with a nice run, still on his feet. Nice gain for number 6 of the Prague Lions. First time he really showed his capability of running the ball.
Yeah, and he's super dangerous when he has the ball in his hands. That's why you see why the Ravens have so much respect for him. And this time, it's not an option for him to run. It's a designed quarterback run with a QB counter action, and he just, even with the bad snap, gets into the hole, breaks one tackle, breaks the second. Ooh! Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that, man. It's late in the game. I understand that you're heated and it's emotional that someone's flying in there. That he dragged you down, but you shouldn't be punching anybody in the face after the snap. Lucky that he didn't get a flag.
Oh, high snap, but they still get it out. Touchdown for the Prague Lions. Lukas Katlec, number 17, haven't seen him on the field so far. And off that broken play, somehow Jalen Henderson gets the ball out, pitches it to number 17, and he takes it to the house.
Yeah, again, a bad snap, and then they have that trick play called, that shovel pass called. I gotta be honest, man, you kind of see that the Munich Ravens are a bit undisciplined right there. Maybe also because of the fumbled snap, not knowing what's going on. Everybody's giving up on the read, giving up on the O-line. They don't keep the eye discipline up. Everybody's just running towards Jalen Henderson, who then makes a good play of handling the football, pitching it to Katlec, who then tanks himself through into the end zone for the first points of the Prague Lions today.
Prague Lions are on the board. New score 35-6 because the PAT did not get through the uprights. A missed kick is something that is not happening very often for Marek Schruban, the kicker, who was one of the stars in that overtime thriller against the Musketeers. I think he made field goals from 54 and 44 yards and took the team to overtime when Matjashvili was then deciding the whole thing in favor of the Prague Lions.
Yeah, and good for them coming back and using those valuable reps, as I call it, giving themselves up, kind of taking the ease into this game and just focusing on your execution, control what you can control, getting Jalen Henderson in there, do whatever you can, do whatever you feel comfortable with.
And they found out it is possible to get in the Munich Ravens end zone. It's not totally locked up. Bijan Harris on the return. Bijan Harris is still on the run. Bijan Harris, is he going all the way? Bijan Harris is taking it to the house. Kickoff, return, touchdown. What an answer by the Munich Ravens.
Everybody that's watching. Jesus love you. Jesus got y'all. Watch out. Jesus love y'all. Keep watching. God got y'all. BJ out.
That he still has this air in him to does this announcement into the microphone. I mean, he has just been sprinting for 85 yards. Let's look at that again.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it so much that when you give him a chance, the best way of just like not defending him is just not letting him return. And you saw the quick movements, like you let him making 1 cut, 2 cuts, and not losing speed at all. He was moving in the phone booth earlier, and you could see the glimpse in the other returns that he was able to have those big explosive returns. And if you watch the EFA, you know how explosive he is. And I'm quite happy that we were announcing it so often. And we're like, this guy's dangerous, this guy's dangerous, this guy's dangerous, and he showed it here again. And what a way to start the second half for the Munich Ravens, man. Coming out with the turnover, scoring straight away, now with the kickoff return touchdown. Yeah, this team is just so good in all phases of the football. Apart from the extra point game today. They were slacking a bit on that.
So it's only a 41-6 lead for the Munich Ravens, but it was the third kickoff return touchdown of Bijan Harris in this season. I mean, he started the season with a opening game kickoff return touchdown against the Raiders, Tirol. And then in week 3, the second game that the Munich Ravens played, he did exactly the same thing in Frankfurt against the Galaxy. Opening game, kickoff return touchdown, and now his third kickoff return touchdown. Unbelievable. What a dangerous returner, number 21 of the Munich Ravens. Ken Hike Jr. has a little trouble taking up the ball. And he only gets to the 15-yard line. So he cannot return the favor to the Munich Ravens. So a lot happening in this third quarter. I mean, it's not that they are going easy, those two.
I mean, you never go easy, right? Like that's not in the nature of a football player, especially when you play competitively in this level. You always go 100%. You can't just go 20, 30, 50, 70. Like you got to take care of your body. And it's also, I think, somewhat of a
offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's also somewhat of a sign of respect towards your peers, you know?
It's not only a sign of respect. I mean, we're playing American football. If you don't go 100%, the chance of getting injured is so high, you have to go 100%. Jalen Henderson pass to the outside, almost picked up by number 11. Devon Buckram, definitely one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah, and Jalen Henderson is like thrown a bit deeper today, but he's thrown into dangerous coverages, like also to the American corners, which is not always well advised.
And now he's running it himself. Oh, that could be a horse color. But I think no flag flying in.
Let's take a look. I mean, it's a very acrobatic job and good job by him. Yeah, it could have been a horse color, but I think right when he was about to grab it, Schmidt just sacked him. But man, that's his specialty. You saw Jalen Henderson, how quick he avoids that sack and how he becomes a runner. And then just like gets some positive yards. Maybe can get himself out of danger there, but you know, like that's the thing which you get with running QB. You also get the running QB mentality.
No first down, 3rd and 4. This is a first down, connecting with Willie P.
Yeah, I love the play design right there, and again, they're so creative how they design plays for Willie Patterson. He starts out in the backfield, then motions out. They get like a fire zone. I think it's even man coverage, so it's very easy to identify for Henderson as well. And then Willie Patterson just runs a quick in route right behind his tight end. He's wide open and just a quick pitch and catch. So easy to execute because of the great play design by the offensive coordinator of the Prague Lions.
1st and 10. Again, Patterson moving out. Jalen Henderson trying to run himself. But there was nowhere to go because Etoile Louis, the New Zealand defensive tackle, was there for the Munich Ravens. Second and 9 for the second 8 for the Prague Lions. Pitch to the outside to William Patterson, but great defensive work for the Munich Ravens. No gap opening, no chance to go upfield for Willie P. So that was a loss. 3rd and 11. William Patterson makes it the trips to the right. Jalen Henderson looking over the middle, but is not finding his target. Trying to find Willie P, but there's a flag flying.
Ooh. Big throw under pressure. Yeah, there's some contact, but I'm strongly questioning if this pass would have been catchable. I'm gonna give him win or doubt. I think Willie Patterson can get up and make that play, so he at least has a small chance.
There are 2 fouls during the play. Illegal contact, defense number 21. Holding, defense number 16. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the Prague Lions are moving the sticks with a little bit help of their friends from the other side of the ball. James Brooks, the head coach of the Prague Lions in his first season as a head coach, was the defensive coordinator of the team last season. Next touch by the new acquisition, Paul Breuer, German running back.
Yeah, they gotta get Paul Breuer the ball just to like get him into the system, get him into this team, you know. And like as I said, that just frees up space for Žižkov or Willie Patterson to move around spots. Really like what they're doing. Willie Patterson here in the backfield as well. Again.
2nd and 4, Jalen Henderson scrambling. But Alexander Reich says, no, not with me. Swiss linebacker, huge guy, 6'5", 105 kilos, played college football in Kansas and then later had a short stint in the CFL.
Yeah, and you could clearly see it right there. It takes a special athlete to chase down Jalen Henderson in the open field and then in full sprint when Henderson makes a move to just tackle him. And you come in again, man. I've just enjoyed it so much when we talk about European players that you take 5 seconds to explain what college they played and what other pro league they were in before.
3rd and 3, Jalen Henderson going deep, but no chance to get even close to the ball for William Patterson. Devin Buckram was really on his toes. So it's 4th and 3, and the Prague Lions sent the punting unit out. Bijan Harris, but this time nowhere to go. Jonaj Šlava, the Czech defensive tackle, was there on special teams, delivering the tackle to Bijan Harris.
Yeah, and it's just important, man. Like you, as we said, it's so far behind. You just don't want to get embarrassed. And one of the things you get embarrassed by is like when one player just takes over in special teams and does a one-man show. So good job of all of them rallying to the football. You know, they know how dangerous he is and just making that tackle in the open field. As we just saw, not that easy. Far from easy.
1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Handoff from Russell Tabor to Benedikt Pola, who is still on the run and takes it up to the 45, 46-yard line.
Yeah. I'm staying on falling in love with this run game of the Munich Ravens, and definitely with Benedikt Pola. Reading that up perfectly, staying patient behind that counter action. Pretty well blocked, and then him breaking the tackle in the gap, moving his feet, having great contact balance, and then getting that extra sweet yardage after he broke that tackle.
From the, it's the 41-yard line, not the 46. Next handoff. And again, Benedikt Pola taking it for a new first down for the Munich Ravens. Here we see it again. Handoff. Good blocking by the O-line.
Yeah, I mean, it's good blocking, 100%. This time was like a power action, but it's also like him just like really being patient behind the line, not getting nervous, just waiting, trusting his offensive line, trusting they're doing their job, and then just hitting that gap perfectly.
Yeah, we do notice that the game plan of the Munich Ravens has definitely changed after they had that touchdown that got them to the 41-6 lead. Mainly run play now. I think we're not going to see Russell Tabor pass a lot in the remainder of this match.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Delay of game, and Gerrit Brandt showed his movement skills, the big offensive lineman. Empty backfield for the Ravens. So Russell Tabor will attempt the pass. Nope, he's running it himself. Goes out of bounds after a gain of about 3.
One element, man, we don't talk about enough because we just don't get the chance to is Russell Tabor's legs. Because this offense is built so well and they can run the ball so well with zones, counters, powers on the perimeter, screens. They can just throw it into the flat that very rarely Russell Tabor becomes a runner. But if you followed this league from week 1 on, this guy is super dangerous when he moves, and he's super dangerous when he becomes a runner by himself. And once we get to the playoffs and to the tighter games, we will see that more often, and teams need to get prepared for that.
already 6 rushing touchdowns by Russell Tabor in this season. Oh, quarterback sack and the ball came out.
Uh-oh.
Question is, was Russell Tabor down or was he not?
I think the bigger question is he healthy? Because he's holding his leg there, and I think it got caught up right when he was about to be tackled. Take a look at his right leg. So first of all, you know, him reading, good job by the Prague Lions defense, containing him in the pocket, getting pressure towards him. But look at it's his left. Oh yeah. That bent a little too far. I hope for the best, but the way he's cramping up, I think he might be hurt. Or I think he's gonna feel that tomorrow. Very unfortunate. That's the reason why you gotta throw that away, especially with that score, instead of just trying to make something happen. I know it's third down. I know you want to convert.
Under review.
Yeah, I know you want to convert those third downs, but keep yourself out of danger there. Throw the ball away, or just take the safe sack and control your own body.
Well, this will probably force the decision of the offensive coordinator of the Munich Ravens to bench Russell Tabor and now put in Levin Adrum, the second string, the backup of Russell Tabor, who we don't really have to see that again, how his leg is getting bent to the inside. Luckily, he was able to pull that leg out. Otherwise, that would have been a really severe injury.
Yeah, I think might not be too severe, but it already bent a bit, and that's where like the high ankle or low ankle sprains happen, and those can hurt for like a couple of weeks. You know, like I hope it's not too bad again, but I think he still will feel that. Hopefully, he's back on the field soon, and it's not as bad as I make it right now.
And the ball came definitely out before he touched the ground, so it is a fumble. It should be a Lions ball.
100%. Should not be a discussion at all.
So Peter Parsons is still studying the video material. Now we hear the decision of the officiating crew.
After review, the call on the field stands. It is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Prague.
So with 3:24 on the clock in the third quarter, the Prague Lions are in good field position at the 42-yard line of the Munich Ravens. Quick pass to the outside to Willie P, who gets a new set of downs for the Prague Lions.
Yeah, again, creative way of getting him open, getting him into the open field. You see it here. They just mismatching that thing up. They're going by the numbers. Willie Pedersen gets the ball, puts his head down for a new first down.
Trips to the left. Jalen Henderson from the shotgun. Has time, throws deep. And Matjashvili was there and almost made the catch. He is actually the one in that zone, in the end zone. He is feeling like home.
I mean, big ups, man. I love the trust Henderson puts into Billy. That's a well-thrown ball again. And that's just great defense. Like getting his hand in there at the right second. Take a look from this view here again. Like Billy just runs a good route. It's an almost perfect pass. But the Munich Ravens DB just gets in there and at the last second just waits till Billy puts his hands up, gets his hands in between there. That's good. That's some good defensive stuff right there. Good defense play.
Attempting to take matters on his own. No, it was Adam Żuželka. I'm sorry, number 11. but not getting anywhere. Third and 10 for the Prague Lions. Jalen Henderson pass over the middle, intercepted.
How is he going all at once?
Tiptoes along the sideline. Jonas Günther with the first interception for him this season. And there we see how he desperately tries to stay in bounds. But then his weight carries him over the line.
Yeah, there we saw Henderson was just trying to throw that ball in rhythm on his third step to the bend around. The ball is just overthrown and just inaccurate into the back. So just not a good pass. And we saw Henderson couldn't really set because he had pressure from the middle. So I think he couldn't just really step into his throw, couldn't get the path for the ball that he really wanted. Again, then great play and great execution by the Munich Ravens defense, making the most out of that play. That was a tough catch. You know, he had to stretch out completely. And as you mentioned already, doing his best to stay in bounds. And there we see Munich Ravens put in their backup QB. I think it's the right thing to do after that scary play for Russell Tabor. I hope it's not only because Russell Tabor might be hurt right now. I hope it's also just a security? No, it's a... Sorry
for safety reasons.
For safety reasons. Appreciate you, Oppo. Thank you so much.
You're
lost
welcome.
in translation.
So
I was
so
lost
number
in
17
translation.
is in as quarterback for the Munich Ravens. Levin Adram, somebody you know pretty well because you played with him.
No, I wasn't with him anymore. We missed each other.
Oh, you're that old?
I'm that old. I'm that
Nice
old.
pass to the outside. Sixten Dragan, who has 2 touchdown catches already in this game. With the next reception.
Yes, different QB game plan stays the same. You know, stay with your reads, you stay with your counts, and Levin just get some valuable reps here again. You know, second week in a row where he gets on the field pretty early, gets more than a quarter of football. Even with a lot of starters out there, you know, Stanley's out, but we still have Loose Guy in there. We still have Dragan out there. Justus Selig next to him. It's a good chance for him to showcase his talents.
And off to Justus Selig. And I don't know how you see that, Jan, but as soon as Justus Selig is carrying the ball, you always see this bunch of people trying to attack him. I always look at the back of this bunch because I always expect him to somehow appear and keep on running.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I always take a cautious look at the defenders around the ball, you know, like how they line up and what angles they take and how they get ready, or if like all go to the tackle, because, you know, coming again, in this league it's hard to tackle people one-on-one. You always got to rally to the football, and you have a much lower missed tackle percentage if you do so.
Ooh, almost the interception for Levin Adram, who tried to hit Justus Selig there.
Good job there, understanding down and distance in the zone coverage. So in zone coverage, what you've been taught, you drop back and you drop back into your zone, but it adjusts to what down and distance you have and to what routes the opponent has. And you see that perfectly as soon as Justus Selig turns around, he just straight goes for the ball, knowing that that's exactly where the first down is.
And number 8, Jan Chrissy, already has 1 interception in this game. He intercepted Russell Tabor in the first half. That was off target, second attempt to find Justus Selig. No chance, so the Munich Ravens will probably even send their field goal unit on. they're not taking a risk. They're taking the short and probably very high punt. Did you see William Patterson standing there?
Touchback,
Where's the ball? Why isn't it coming down? He totally lost the ball up in the air.
It's a high punt, though.
First he called for a fair catch, and then he was still standing there. Felt like a minute after the ball was out of bounds already, he was still standing there like, okay, where is it? So 22 seconds to play in the third quarter, 41-6, the lead of the Munich Ravens. Prague Lions are in control of the ball. Pass to the outside to Matiashvili, and he gets rid of one defender and then manages to get the first down. But again, there's a flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So face mask call against Devin Buckram.
Yeah, let's take a look. Ball goes out to Billy. Breaks one tackle. Buckram comes, I couldn't see, but I think it was just like...
and the slow motion is over. Whoa. No chance for Adam Zuzelka there, running into
That is the end
Iswala
of the third quarter.
So we're taking a short break and we come back with the fourth quarter here in Prague in the Bohemian Stadium. We're back in Prague. The fourth quarter already started. We missed exactly 4 seconds, but not a lot of action. Incomplete pass by the Prague Lions. Trips bunch to the right. Pass over the middle, that's complete. Finding Radim Kalus. So 1st and 10 for the Prague Lions at the 38-yard line of the Munich Ravens. Play action fake. There's pressure coming, but he delivers the pass to William Patterson. And that's what I'm calling a contested catch, if that's counting.
Yeah, let's take a look. Great overroute, great deep overroute by the Prague Lions. Out of the play action. Can't throw the ball any better than that. Willie Patterson comes down with it, but the ball is wobbling, and because he loses control on the body when he had contact with the body, it's an incompletion. So the rule is you got brace, you can't lose control through the ground. The ball needs to be needs to be controlled even through contact of the ground. It's the right call by the referees. Good job by the referees today.
Henderson with the pass to Matthias Billy, who is stopped right away. Again by Markus Schlabitz. One of the best German DBs, Markus Schlabitz. One really has to hand it to him, number 22 of the Munich Ravens. Third and 7 for the Prague Lions. Trips to the left. Radim Kalush, the sole wide receiver on the right side. Pass to Adam Žuželka. But a good open field tackle by Christoph Nitzelnader. And if I just mentioned Markus Schlabitz as one of the best German DBs, Christoph Nitzelnader is Austrian. So he's definitely one of the best DBs from Austria.
Yeah, I really like him. Like also when we played against him when he was a bit younger.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
Yeah, free yardage, you take that. But yeah, Nitzelnader, like what I always came to mind when I saw him play, when we scouted for him, he was always a very physical, but also very, very safe tackler. So like it was very hard to like scheme against him, like scheming screens towards him because he's good in block shedding. But he was very, very good as a corner, or when they like put him closer to the box, like tackling running backs, tackling receivers. I think he barely missed the tackle. So him developing also into a great cover guy, it's great to see.
Empty backfield. Jalen Henderson is running it himself, and he's gaining a lot of yardage. Looked like a loss of yardage, and then he turned that into a gain.
Yeah, good decision making here by Jalen Henderson. You know, it's one thing of being an athlete, but it's another thing of like staying within the system and then deciding at the right moments to become a runner and then use your athleticism. Here is a good example of him again going through his reads, going through his first, second read, seeing the pressure, becoming a runner, and then just being the best athlete on the field, breaking 1 tackle, 2 tackles. Here we see it. You know, he looks to the right, looks to the left, sees the pressure, stays downfield, lifts up the ball, breaks 1 tackle, spins around, braces himself for the hit, and gets nice yardage.
And one should not underestimate Kendall Ellison. He is not taking that easy. He is getting furious with each and every missed tackle, with each and every penalty called against his defense. First and goal for the Prague Lions. Adam Žuželka taking it to the 3-yard line. Good running, good way of securing the ball. Number 11, Adam Žuželka, over the last couple of years developed to one of the best running backs we have in Europe. And there we have the next score for the Prague Lions, powering it into the end zone. There is Adam Žuželka.
Yeah, good job of him tanking through, you know. This drive had so much, of course, a lot of penalties and opportunities, but at the end of the day, them running it in from the 3-yard line, you see a lot of push by the offensive line. Žuželka reading it out pretty good, finding a hole, putting his head down for the second touchdown of the Prague Lions.
And it's unbelievable. Just looking at his stats, it's only his second rushing touchdown of the season. All over his second touchdown. But he is definitely the workhorse. But when it's getting close to the end zone, they're always choosing somebody else. Whoa, blocked extra point by the Munich Ravens. And the kicker himself securing it. But there are a couple flags on the field. I think it was Schrubon kicking the ball while hustling for it.
While the ball was loose, illegal kicking team number 80. The penalty is declined, the try is no good.
Well, even if you're a kicker in football, you cannot make a dribbling out of the whole thing. So there we see it again. There it's coming. Doing a little Lionel Messi thing before he's securing the ball. So 12 minutes 27 on the clock, and the Munich Ravens are leading 41-12 now. Well, he made a statement that he does not want another kickoff return touchdown. I mean, he sent that thing out in the stands at the 30-yard line probably.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
So Munich Ravens offense still led by Levin Adrom. We still did not see any pictures from the sideline of the Munich Ravens. Whether Russell Tabor is okay. Definitely got injured when he was sacked and he fumbled the ball. Run play up the middle. Ball carrier. Again, Jan Weinreich's most favorite running back, Benedikt Pohler.
Yeah, I hope he gets to another 100-yard game. How great would that be? You know, from a, let's call it maybe like what it is for us, like a somewhat no name, like we didn't know him, like being the guy behind Zillig and Justin Rodney, to like now being the feature back and like getting production in and just proving that he belongs on this field and that he belongs in there, man. Just as I said, man, just love what he does.
2nd and 5 for the Ravens. Hand off again. It is Benedikt Pohler, and he manages to get the next first down. Oh no, it was not Benedikt Pola. Oh, my mistake. Dominik Hörner, the ball carrier. But it must be so much fun to run the ball behind this, without a doubt, great offensive line of the Munich Ravens. Again, a run play by the Munich Ravens that are not forcing anything. Right now, ball security, most important thing. Just let the clock work for them. Running the ball, keeping it on the ground.
Interesting to see what game plan they will have in mind if they let Levy throw the ball around a bit, or if they're just going to stay conservative, run out the clock. Give the ball to Polar.
So that will be a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Munich Ravens. Third and 2, Benedikt Pola, the running back next to him, and he dives into that gap for the next first down.
Yeah, man, Benedikt Pola does it all here. Like goes outside, like before it goes outside, it's an open field this time. Just knows, okay, we got 2 yards to go. Doesn't really read it, doesn't really wait for blocks, just takes down his head and goes for the new first down.
They already had some changes made in the offensive line. A couple of second string guys are in right now, like Tassilo Wagner, number 75. Well, Benedikt Pola can definitely not complain that he's not getting enough touches. Worked himself into that position. Again, run play. And again, the ball carrier number 26, Benedikt Pola.
Yeah, good job here again. Inside zone to the right side, staying behind his double team. Big ups to the big sexy stay up front by the Munich Ravens, still pushing, still playing very sound football there. And then he's just attacking line of scrimmage, stays patient, makes one cut. Get some serious yards there to the 30-yard line for the third one.
Gets tackled pretty soon, but falls for the next first down. Although there are a couple of Lions players that want to see a flag, but I'm not really sure what for.
Maybe some late hits or trashed. I don't know. But it's clear to see now that the Munich Ravens just want to run out the clock, eat as much as they can.
Oh, Levin Adram with the completion. To his number 84, Michael Stadler. He's also doing the place kicking today.
Yeah, good accurate throw here. You know, like staying with the read, staying in the pocket, going through all the routes, to then turn his hips to go to the right sideline. Stadler completely open, of course. But easier said than done to stay with your reads and stay through with your progression.
And then we have the next score, and this is delivered by Benedikt Pola.
Pola gets his touchdown, from the 1 yard line. It's easy thing for him. Again, inside zone, just goes behind his offensive line. It's 1 yard to go, puts his head down to expand the lead.
Well deserved. And the next touchdown for the Munich Ravens. Extra point is good. The new score is a 48-12 in favor of the Munich Ravens. 5 minutes, 44 seconds on the clock in this last quarter here in Prague. Again, wide receiver Sixten Dragan performing the kickoff.
Touchback to the 35-yard line.
So at the 35-yard line, the Prague Lions will start probably their last drive in this matchup. 5:44 on the clock. And we just saw Alexander Borkovic, the linebacker with number 0 of the Prague Lions. Run play up the middle by the German running back, Paul Breuer.
Yeah, the other German running back we have in today from the Prague Lions, Paul Breuer, tanks himself through. Munich Ravens in with a lot of starters still on the field. You see all the Americans in there, Waldron in there. They don't seem like they're willing to sub out their guys. And the same for the Prague Lions. They're in there with most of their starters.
Nowhere to go for Paul Breuer there.
But yeah, both teams seem like they just want to finish out that game running the ball. Willie Patterson off the field as well. So
yeah, with that shirt ripped apart already.
Yeah.
It's been a tough match for the quarterback of the Prague Lions again. Again, trying to run up the middle, but trying to run up the middle against the Munich Ravens is always hard because they got a lot of meat stacked up there in the middle.
Yeah, but what isn't hard, you know? What isn't hard doing against them is the question.
You are so right, Dan. 3rd and 9 for the Prague Lions. Oh, ho, ho, and William Patterson plays catch me if you can.
I mean, Henderson. I think you said William
Jalen
Patterson.
Henderson, yes.
Yeah, Jalen Henderson. He looks to the right real quick and then instantly just decides, you know what, I'm just going to run the ball by myself on that 3rd and long. Makes Maya miss completely. He lost his ankles. You see there, you know, you just got to, don't overpace it, like stay within the gap, but easier said than done. You know, also Henderson is able, with his athleticism, to move around in a phone booth to get the new first down.
So they're at the 39-yard line of the Munich Ravens. Handoff to Paul Breuer, but he runs right into the big, huge arms of Etoile Louis. .335 pounds of pure football power. Number 8 of the Munich Ravens. Jalen Henderson from the shotgun. Paul Breuer right next to him. Henderson keeps the ball, but is tackled for a loss. Again, Etoile Louis was there.
We'll love to hear what's going on between those two there. Again, Jalen Henderson pulls the ball, is contained, and then he's hit from the back. You know, with the score being as it is, with him taking all those hits he had, I don't know if that's super necessary what's happening there, but you know what? Jalen Henderson is a competitor. Doesn't matter. He's enjoying himself out there, so probably doesn't matter to him that he takes all those hits late in this game.
And imagine you're carrying the ball, and from behind there are sprinting 335 pounds flying into your body. There are other things that are more fun in life, believe me. I already mentioned before the Big Four tournament taking place on the 15th and 16th of August. And in the Big Four tournament, it will be decided who is traveling to the Tivoli Stadium in Innsbruck, one of the most beautiful stadiums all over Europe, on the 29th of August. The first final of the European Football Alliance will be played out. Two more minutes to play here at Bohemian Stadium in Prague. Pass to the outside, but incomplete. Radim Kalous couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, someone's calling for a flag because they thought the contact was a bit early here. You see out route comes out. No, I think that's good defense. I don't believe that you should throw a flag on that. It's just a great play by the defender, like breaking on the ball.
I would actually say that was perfect timing by the DB.
Yeah, close to it.
The minute the wide receiver touched the ball, he had the hips. Well, Jalen Henderson definitely threw that one away. But there's a flag, probably a late hit against Henderson. There's so many people chasing him.
Illegal contact, defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So we just noticed Bijan Harris is still on the field. That flag was against him. So there are a couple of very motivated people in the stands, as we hear in Prague. Some hobby referees, probably. And Jalen Henderson still trying everything, fighting for each and every inch on that field.
Yeah, he gets instant pressure through the middle. That's the toughest thing for QB at any time, if you get instant interior pressure, especially when it's a big, tall, athletic defensive end coming in. But again, man, this guy can move in the phone booth, best athlete on the field. Makes a lot of people miss. You just make it a minus 1 yard gain. Oh!
Interception, Munich Ravens. Devin Buckram with the ball.
Yeah. Jalen Henderson, I think, just trying to force that ball into the middle. It looked like a miscommunication between him and whoever he was throwing to. I think it was the tight end. Because he thought he's going to bend inside. Let's take another look. Jalen Henderson looks off the safety. Yeah, and I think he was expecting his target to like bend inside and move inside because he was looking to the left, checking what kind of coverage he was going to get, and he just throws the ball in there.
The result of the play is an interception.
His receiver, his target doesn't bend inside, and then it's easy for Brackham.
Number 11 of the intercepting team. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. It will be first down, Munich.
Yep, this is something that our most favorite coach, Andrew Weidinger, mentioned when the Munich Ravens played against the Frankfurt Galaxy, because then it was Malik Stanley who went after the touchdown to the sideline and was hitting this drum, and you are not allowed celebrating and taking things from off the field and celebrate with them. So that Malik Stanley did not get fined for it, but Devin Buckram gets the penalty for it. So 40 more seconds to play here in Prague, in the capital of the Czech Republic. Levin Odrum, the backup quarterback of Russell Tabor, hands it off again. Dominik Vase, the ball carrier. And those are the last seconds of the match. The Munich Ravens stay unbeaten. They have an 8-0 record now. The Prague Lions go 2-6.
That is the end of the game.
I'm saying thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Jan Weinreich. You have the famous last words.
Yeah, thank you, Opu. You know, it was the game we all expected. Ravens came out hot and strong and fast again on offense, just put up a big lead, and then I just believe the Prague Lions made the smart decision for the team to kind of put a check mark behind it. Don't risk any injuries, don't force any unnecessary turnovers, and then we go out as we came in with the Munich Ravens as the best team in this league, the team on top, and the Prague Lions still challenging for that extra playoff spot. Thank you for calling this game with me. It was lots of fun, and see you soon.
And for everybody who was watching us, next week you have to find something to occupy with, because next week is a league-wide bye week for the EFA. We will be back in 2 weeks. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Danke.
Hey, let's go. Back. Yo, once again I'm back around. Real shit back in style. Haters reconcile. I'm so black and proud. First class tickets now. Feet all in the eye. Everybody looking down. Everybody get red when you drown, huh? Look at me, up. I'm putting it down, you picking it up. Checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck. Go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune. Common sense, welcome to the apocalypse. Bitch, I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement. Giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa. Have I gone too far? Do you detect something different? If you look inside my head, would you say something's missing? If you could give all your riches just to say the word, would you risk it? These politicians so old, can't tell if they're dead or they living. Better ask Kathy Griffin. You know I like to raise stakes. We was always taught to hit the gas, we ain't even know they made brakes. We control our own fate, watching dreams take shape. Try to keep us out, we gon' freak out, turn this bitch to water cake. I don't need your mandate, don't need you to elevate. I'm about to detonate, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Said I'm at my prime. We at our prime. Hey, hey, we at our prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Hey, hey, I'm at my prime. Whoa. Said I'm at my prime. Yeah. You ready? Hey. Let's go. Back. Yo, once again I'm back around. Real shit back in style. Haters reconcile. I'm so black and proud. First class tickets now. Feet all in the eye. Everybody looking down. Everybody get red when you drown, huh? Look at me, up. I'm putting it down, you picking it up. Checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck. Go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune. Common sense, welcome to the apocalypse. Bitch, I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement. Giving you your last warning, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa. Have I gone too far? Do you detect something different? If you look inside my head, would you say something's missing? If you could give all your riches just to say the word, would you risk it? These politicians so old, can't tell if they're dead or they living. Better ask Kathy Griffin. You know I like to raise stakes. We was always taught to hit the gas, we ain't even know they made brakes. We control our own fate, watching dreams take shape. Try to keep us out, we gon' freak out, turn this bitch to water cake. I don't need your mandate, don't need you to elevate. I'm about to detonate, cause I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Said I'm at my prime. We at our prime. Hey, hey, we at our prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Hey, hey, I'm at my prime. Yeah. You ready? Hey. Let's go. Back. Yo, once again I'm back around. Real shit back in style. haters reconcile. I'm so black and proud, first class tickets now. Feet all in the eye. Everybody looking down, everybody get red when you drown, huh? Look at me up, I'm putting it down, you picking it up. Checking the models, they want us to go to college just so we can be stuck. Go to school to make a living, or teach yourself to make a fortune. Common sense, welcome to the apocalypse, bitch, I'm one of the horsemen. I don't need your endorsement, I don't need reinforcement, giving you...